Hey guys, this is Thomas. I made it down to Morgan Monroe today. I'm just tired of being in the house, so I decided I wanted to come out and do some panning. Um, Today I'm going to be using a gold claw pan. I use it all the time, but I just going to show you a little bit about it today. Um, then of course I make my own classifiers for uh, for classifying. Basically, it's what used to be. Well, they call them monsoon buckets when I got the plans to make them, and it's pretty easy to do. You just cut them out, get you some uh, wire mesh. This is 1/4 inch, and actually I crisscross it to kind of drop it down to like 1/8, and then cut some slots in the side, or you can drill holes, or however you want to do it. Some people riveted these things, or some of them I riveted mine. Some people screw them, so you can do that too. Uh, Cut some slots in the side that breaks the suction when you pull it out, and then you can just put this inside of another bucket, and this should have been kind of ready here, like this. And put your material in here, pull it up, shake it around, dump it out. I usually put a little less, couple shovelfuls, and that should be enough for it. So I am going to kind of show you around, not show you around, but take you through some of the steps and some of the processes that I go through when I just pan. This is a new area that I'm coming into. I'm only stopping here because of this little, it's kind of little waterfall, this little drop off. I just want to see if there's anything in there. Really, this area doesn't hold a lot of the material I kind of look for when I'm looking for gold here in Indiana. There's big slabs of this shale or what do you call it, limestone. It's what kind of makes up our hills. There's not really any granite hills here. So, but one of the pieces that I am kind of seeing, and I would like to see a lot more of them, is this piece right here. That's just a piece of granite, which means that was part of the glaciers, because we don't have granite mountains here. So I like to go to a place where I see a lot of those, but I don't see a lot of them here. I just see a lot of this shell stuff. So I don't know that I'm going to find a lot of gold here, but that's kind of what I came down here for, because this is a different area. I looked on a map here and decided that I wanted to try it just to see if there's anything here. So I'm looking, it's just so scattered. There's a piece of granite there. There's a piece there. Now what's good is when you find a lot of those just kind of stacked up in the area, then you can usually find some pretty decent gold when you do that. I'm just kind of walking down now to see if I can see it in a different or better location, but I'm probably just going to try that waterfall and see if there's anything there. Another thing we have here a lot, of course, are geodes. Here's just a stack of them right here. Here and here and here, here. They're just stacked up here. I don't know if somebody stacked them or what. Most of our geodes are solid, so you may find one that's hollow every once in a while, but the majority of them are solid. Well, what I'm going to do is, like I said, there's this drop off here on this little kind of a waterfall. I am going to dig out some of this material here along the edge of this waterfall and see if there's anything in there. If not, there's a spot that I passed that had a little bit more glacial till to it than what's up here. So basically, I'm just going to get out all of this material that's here at the edge of this base of this waterfall, and then I'm going to see what's there. Well, so far it has been a skunk. what I'm not seeing a lot of solid locked up material. I'm seeing a lot of loose material. I'm seeing very little black sand. And so I'm just not seeing the indicators for finding gold here. Usually in this park, it's usually locked up. If there's good glacial material, it's usually locked up. The gold is usually locked up in the clay. And it's usually pretty solid when you're digging through it. Right now, everything has been kind of loose, so I'm just not thinking that this is where it's concentrating that material. Like I said, I didn't see a lot of glacial material to start with, so but that's why it's called prospecting. I am trying to figure this forest out just to kind of see if there's where the gold is more likely to be than not. And when we come here for outings, I kind of like to take people out to places that are pretty productive, at least that they're going to get gold. So right now, it looks like this area is a no-go. So I'm going to still keep messing around here and see if I can find anything, but there are certain areas that I've gone to in the park that just does not have those indicators, just does not have any gold. Or the forest, I guess I should say. I keep saying park, but it's a forest. So I will keep messing around here. Maybe I'll find a speck or two, but I'm not expecting to find a whole lot here because it just don't have, the indicators just aren't here. Good, how you doing? I'm going to show you guys how I use this gold call pan. I have material in it, of course, and it's really easy. It takes some getting used to if you're used to a round pan, but once you get used to it, it is really easy and it's pretty fast. So I'm going to just go through how I do this. I'm not expecting any gold because I'm just not expecting to get gold here in this area. But you get your material in there, give it a good shake, flat. Doesn't take a whole lot. Then you basically just start shaking it. I use one hand, some people use two. Just shake it and start tilting your pan. Leave it in the water, make sure the pan is still in the water. And then just tilt it. And you can just let that material flow out and take it up to about 90 degrees. People get scared when they have to do that part of it because you think you're losing your gold. I'll show you in a second why you're not losing your gold. But then you just take it under, once you're done to that part, take it under, shake it back, take the material back in the pan that's in the riffles here, and do the same thing on this side. There's smaller riffles on this side of the pan, so you just kind of leave it in the water, shake it and tilt it. That fine material will just kind of flow off the edge. And you can pretty much do that till all the material is out. Once again, put it back in the water, shake it down into the pan, and if you got it back in the pan, you can kind of just tap it, and the gold will be at the top to the top of the bottom of your pan here. But as you can see, I'll bring it over here to you. That's all the material that's left. Too much water. And that's it. I mean, there's very little black sand in there, which is why I know there's not much gold here in this area. You know, if I'm lucky, I may find a piece, but so far I hadn't been that lucky. So that's how I basically use this. There's fine riffles here on this side of the pan, so if you want to, you could kind of even process your material out even further, or you can use the corner here on this end if you had a vial, or if I can just pour the material into it. There's a kind of a groove there that will fit to your vial. So that's what's that's what I do, and this is the pan I've been using here a lot lately. I am going to actually be giving a set of these away, a big pan and a small pockets pan. That's more info to come. I'll let you know when that's going to happen, and then you'll have a chance to win a set. Okay, this is the area that I said I was going to come up here earlier, since the last area didn't pan out. I only came up here because there's just slightly more indicators of stuff here. Like there's a piece of granite there, and then there's a piece that's there. There's just a few more pieces around this area than there were in that other area. There's a couple bigger pieces down here. So I'm just going to do some quick test painting on this area. There's a piece there, there's a piece there, there's a piece there. So there's just more of them here than down in the other area. Hey, how you doing? Good. So there is just more indicators here. So we'll give a few test spots out and see what's here. I don't know. I'm going to set up and maybe run a little bit. Have to find a place to pan though. The only good thing about the other place was there were some deep holes. It's not any deep holes here. So I'm going to test this spot. As I said previously, this was a spot I saw coming down. I'll give it a few different areas here and see what I find. Well, I've been at it about 3 hours. I have not found a speck. So I can kind of mark this location off my map here for this forest. I'm trying to, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a pattern. I think there's a pattern to these moraines. I just haven't quite got enough areas to figure it out yet. So I'm gonna continue prospecting this place and see if I can't find a different location. Maybe in one of my next videos or two, I'll show you more of the indicators that I'm kind of looking at. Like I said, I showed you just one or two pieces of granite, but usually when you're in a washout where the glacial till is, there would be a lot of those pieces. So that's what kind of made me think that there was nothing down here. But on the other side of this, I wanted to tell you about the Gold Claw pan and show you why you can take this thing to 90 degrees. If you look at that, it's kind of hard for me to show you, but there is a lip in that pan. So when you take this to 90 degrees, if you've shaken it the whole time you've been tilting it, your gold falls down to the bottom, and unless you turn this pan this way, that gold is not going to crawl over that lip. So let's see if I can get a better picture of it here. Kind of hard to see, but there is another lip there, like those riffles that are there. There's another one there. So that gold doesn't. It's hard. It's extremely hard for that gold to crawl out of this pan. So it just takes some getting used to. And like I said, I use it now. I love it. It's fast. I keep a round pan with me just in case, but I hardly ever pull it out anymore. I just have it with me. So I think I'm going to call it a day. What I'm going to do, I'm probably going to go up and see if I can't grab a map, and then see if I can't just walk around, hike around, and see if I can't look at another creek or two just to see if there are better indicators in those creeks, and to see if there are potential spots for me to go pan. So thanks, guys. Now if you find a lot of those, you're in a really, really good area. Well, I made my way down to another creek that's here in the forest, just on the edge of the forest here. Just wanted to kind of see what it looked like. And it looked pretty much like the other creek. I'm not seeing a lot of glacial till. So it's a nice area. It's a pretty area. But I just don't think it has what I'm looking for either here. So I'm going to kind of mark this one off too, because I just don't think there's any gold here. I mean, I'm not panning, but I just don't see the indicators. Okay, this is the third creek I've come to. A little better, a little more granite. Looks like somebody's been out here playing, but a little more glacial till out here, which is what I look for. I mean, it's kind of all, it's a lot more than it's been in any of the other places I've gone. So this would be kind of a place that I might actually come in when I don't have anything to do, and just come out here and just test to see if there's decent gold here. If there is, then this kind of tracks on the other two places that I go, which are basically just over this ridge. There's two other hollows that are over this ridge here. But I've never came down here to pan. But yeah, a lot more, even from the small standpoint. So this is a place I'll need to come test. I can't go too far because I don't have my boots on me, but just kind of took a walk down here. But it's a nice area. It's away from traffic. The first place I was at was right along a hiking trail. So the peace and quiet aspects that I kind of like of it were kind of gone because people were constantly walking down the trail. But so this is where I'm at. Just walking along and found somebody's snuffer bottle out here. There's no gold in it though, so I'm still skunked for the day.